A West Michigan man has returned home from Ukraine after spending time as a humanitarian aid volunteer. News 8's Kyle Mitchell shares his story and the impact he hopes to make again.
Rob Winblad is from the Mattawan-area. His family has ties to Ukraine, and after hearing about the invasion, he wanted to help.
So that I could have this when I was in the hot zones.
Helping provide humanitarian relief in Ukraine put Rob Winblad close to an intense war.
So that I could wear this and keep my head protected.
With no clear end in sight.
If I went more than 2 hours without getting shelled or having an air raid siren going off, there was an anomaly in the day pattern.
He arrived in Ukraine in the beginning of February, but visited the country before in December of 2021, just a couple months before the invasion.
Less of a shock coming into Kyiv, which is primarily where I was last time. And the biggest difference was you'd hear air raid sirens, and then you'd occasionally hear an explosion from one of the missiles or the drones coming.
He worked his way closer to the front, heading east, where he saw the most destruction.
You saw basically no windows on a lot of these buildings. A lot of them were just pieces of the houses were still standing, and then there was just piles of rubble everywhere.
Winblad met up with a group of volunteers.
When I first arrived, I connected with a chaplain and his team. They were working with one of the combat brigades operating near the front lines. And what I did was I specifically helped with humanitarian delivery of supplies. We would deliver medical supplies, clothes, food. When we could get them, we would get generators.
He connected with a foreign paramedic team near the end of the trip and hopes to return and work with them.
I did have to come back for personal reasons. I'm hoping to go back as soon as possible. At the moment, I have about $2,800 I need to raise to support 90 days of transit and in-country living expenses.
In addition to his willingness to help in hotspots around the globe, Winblad's connections to the country run deep.
There was a bit of a personal attachment to it. It was personal to a certain degree.
His family hosted Ukrainian orphans for many years, and he has a younger brother who was adopted from the country.
One of the people that we worked with in the hosting organization was killed by a Chechen sniper in the first couple of weeks of the war. So that made it a little more personal as well.
Winblad says despite the dangers, it was worth it to help people in dire need.
They were so happy and grateful to America for what they've done so far.
Reporting near Mattawan, Kyle Mitchell, News 8.